Welcome to my channel. It's me. Hey, wanna hear a joke? What did the buffalo say to his son when he left the house? Bison. Get out of here. Ha ha. Hey there. Welcome to my channel. I can't believe we're already on season 3. Wow. That means all of you have watched us over 2 million times. That's wild. And it also means we had a lot of fun making videos about funny stuff that you like learning about. Like today, get ready for another round of funny stomach science for curious kids. You know what I'm talking about, right? The weird things that happen down under that makes you go, you. Well, not this you. The you that makes you go, you. Okay, let's dive in. We're gonna start off with one of the grossest things that can happen to us. Excuse me. That's right, burping. But hey, sometimes it just can't be helped. So let's learn how our bodies make those funny sounds. When we eat, whether it's yummy snacks or delicious meals, our teeth break that food up into small pieces so we can swallow it. Then the food goes down a long tube called the esophagus and into the stomach. Now, our stomach has these strong muscles that keep squeezing and churning the food to break it down even more. And guess what? Our stomachs are like giant balloons. They can stretch and expand so we can eat lots and lots of food. Now, when we eat some foods like fruits and veggies, beans and bread, our bodies use special helpers called enzymes. These enzymes help break down the food even more so that we can get all the nutrients inside of them. But some foods are really hard to digest. For example, did you know that your body doesn't actually have a tool to break down plastic? So if you accidentally eat a piece of plastic, it might take a year or longer to leave your body. That's why we don't eat plastic. EW. These hard-to-digest foods can stay in our bellies and our guts and cause a blockage. Oh. So to help push things along, our bodies make gas. Gas is made of different things depending on what we eat. Some common ones are oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen. Sometimes extra gas can build up in our stomachs, and when it gets to be too much, we burp. Burping helps push the gas out of our stomachs and through our esophagus, and then it escapes from our mouths. Now, burps don't usually smell, but they can if we swallow air while we're eating. And that happens a lot when we drink carbonated beverages like soda. That's why you often feel the need to burp after chugging a can of Coke. Speaking of burps, did you know that even though we don't like it when people burp in front of us, we do it a lot without knowing it? In fact, we burp anywhere from 7 to 34 times a day. That's a lot. Let's meet Bubbles the burp. He lives in our tummies and makes funny faces and sounds. Hello. Say it. Don't spray it. No. Bubbles. It's okay to burp, but it's not polite to do it in front of others. Sorry. My bad manners make some people feel a little queasy. A little queasy. Queasy. Say it. Don't spray it. Thank you. Bubbles. We don't want to spray anyone with our burps. Next up, let's talk about belching, which is another way of saying burping a lot. Sometimes when we have heartburn, we might belch a lot. Heartburn is when our stomach acids start coming back up our esophagus. It's a burning sensation because our stomach acids are between a 1 and a 2 picohenries. The lower the pH, the stronger the acid. Acids can have a sour taste. If you ever tried lemon juice, you know what I mean. Our bodies are always trying to keep our acids and our bases balanced, but sometimes it needs a little help. That is why we can drink milk or water to stop the burning sensation and balance the pH level in our stomachs. One last thing about burps. Did you know that babies can't control their burps? That's why they burp a lot during and after they eat. Burping helps babies get rid of extra air that they swallow while nursing or drinking milk from a bottle. Speaking of babies, have you ever wondered how old you have to be before you can eat solid foods? Well, it depends on the baby. Some babies are ready around 6 months old, but most aren't ready until they're at least 9 months old. Most babies are still drinking milk at this age. Milk is considered a liquid, but it's also a great first food for introducing solids. At first, we start with soft, smooth foods like avocado and applesauce. Later, we can add other foods like oatmeal, mashed potatoes, and pasta. As babies get older, they can eat more and more solid foods and fewer liquids. But babies don't have teeth, so how do they chew their food? They mostly just mash the food with their tongues and swallow it. As babies get older, their jaws and mouths get bigger, and they can start eating finger foods like cooked noodles and soft cooked veggies. Babies can even start chewing with their first set of teeth, which usually start coming in when they're still babies. Babies have no idea how tasty or stinky their foods are, though. They just gobble everything up. That's why sometimes babies spit up milk or other foods after they eat. Spit up can happen anytime, within 2 hours of eating. Sometimes it's just because we gave them too much food too fast. Other times, it's because their bodies haven't finished digesting the food yet. Parents often call this spit up, burp, burp. Now, let's move on to another gross thing that happens to us. It's flatulence, aka farting. Everyone farts, even you. In fact, adults fart around 14 times a day, and kids fart around 10 times a day. Feces are usually odorless unless there's bacteria in them. Bacteria are tiny living things that can live in and on our bodies. They can help us digest food, but some of them can also make smelly gases. Some people have more bacteria than others, so they might fart more often and their farts might stink more. That's why some people try to hold in their farts. Holding in your farts isn't the best idea since you might blow out more gas than you expected. And then you'll have an even bigger problem. No one likes farts, but we can't help it. So instead of being ashamed, just let it rip. Okay, now let's move on to something really gross. It's poop. Poop, 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 poop. Sometimes poop can be green, yellow, orange, or even red. The color of our poop tells us a lot about our health. White or light-colored poop could mean that we aren't digesting our food very well. Dark or black poop may mean we've swallowed some blood. Yikes. If this happens, we should ask a grown-up for help. Our diet can also change the color of our poop. Eating a lot of greens, like spinach and broccoli, can turn our poop green. And some medicines can make our poop orange or yellow. Eating beets or carrots can turn our poop red or pink. And if our poop floats in the toilet and looks pale or clay color, it might mean that we've eaten too much fat. If we're constipated, our poop might be hard and dry. And if our poop is watery, it might mean that we have diarrhea. Either way, we should ask a grown-up for help if we have problems pooping. Another gross thing that happens to us is getting heartburn. Heartburn is when our stomach acids come up our esophagus and it feels like a burning pain. In our chest, our lower esophageal sphincter, or LES, is a ring of muscle that keeps our stomach acids in our stomachs. Sometimes our LES doesn't close all the way, so acids escape and we get heartburn. The best ways to prevent heartburn are to eat smaller meals. Stand up after eating and don't eat right before bed. Last but not least, let's talk about stomach cramping. Our intestines are long tubes that help us digest food and absorb nutrients. When we eat unhealthy foods like too much sugar or salty foods, our bodies get cramping pains in our stomachs and our guts. Drinking caffeinated drinks can also give us stomach cramps. Caffeine is in coffee, tea, and soda. That's why you might have cramps if you drink too much Coke. To help with stomach cramping, we can drink clear liquids like water or milk. Clear liquids help us stay hydrated and balance the acids in our bodies. Hey, remember Bubbles the Burp? He learned a few manners from his friend Squeaky Clean Dot said, "Don't spray it, and if you need to excuse yourself to burp, you can say, 'Excuse me, I have to belch.' That's not rude at all. And remember, it's okay to fart, so just let it rip." Thanks for joining me on this fun, fizzy journey through the funny parts of our bodies. Bye. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Remember to keep on thinking.